Hey, Soul Tribe. Thank you for joining me. Wow, that was an experience trying to connect then. As soon as I pushed the button to pretty much go live, everything just went black on my computer. I don't know what happened. It was the weirdest thing. So anyway, grateful to be going live right now. Thank you for joining us. And I can see we have Tim here. Happy solstice to you as well. Let me just pop this up on stage. So I just want to remind you guys, we do have the holiday promotions going at the moment. So 20% off for readings for Sophie and myself using the discount code holidays. And the other thing that we have is our Maison Jupiter channel. So we are growing, which is fantastic. If you guys can keep sharing it out, we really appreciate that. And it helps us to bring you live shows like this. So yeah, super grateful the internet and the computer are now working. I do think it's the topic that we're talking about tonight as well. Usually certain topics get flagged, so I'm not surprised that everything went black right before going live. And we do have the 20% off, which we just mentioned for those of you just joining. So do take advantage of that. And 50% off until December 31st for Maison Jupiter Academy as well. So if you haven't already done the Learn How to See Auras course, I highly recommend it. Okay, let's get into tonight's topic. And hi, Alessio, Emma. An hour earlier than I thought. Yay, awesome. What time is it now? Oh, I have started an hour earlier for some reason. I think my time's out. Anyway, I'm glad and grateful to be here with you guys. I've just got my times mixed up because we've had so much on with Christmas. Anyway, my computer went dead for those of you just joining. And I can see we've got Lynn here. Hello, gorgeous. And we have Christian. Hope you're doing well. And we've got Britt Marie. Thank you. Yeah, I had a haircut yesterday. Nice to see you guys too. And thanks, Tim. I've started early. I had a dyslexic glitch. So, and I can see we've got Larry here. So anyway, let's get into the topic of drones. So this is sort of like a little bit of an update. Thank you, Amanda. To do with what we were speaking about last week. There hasn't really been too much of a change. Let me just bring up this little screen. So what we've seen, I guess, like in the news throughout the week and the alternative news as well, is we've also seen one of the plasma orbs come in and take out one of the drones. We also had President T, we're going to call him so that we don't flag too many things, talk about that he would shoot them out of the sky, or why haven't they already shot them out of the sky? So not too much has changed in regards to that. There has been part of the area in New Jersey that has gone into restricted airspace, but it's not the biggest part, and it's also not the part that is, I guess, experiencing, it's part of it, but it's not the whole thing where they've got restricted air. We also saw in some of the alternative media that there was a plane flying in last week that was guided, and planes came out to guide it through and, I guess, usher it into New Jersey as well. Thank you, Tim. Yeah, sometimes your 3D life just happens as well. So I'm glad that I'm here with you all. The other thing that I want to look into tonight is questions. So if anyone has questions, let's put them in all caps and have a look into it as a community. So I wanted to look into the planet that's coming into our solar system that's 8 times the size of Jupiter. I don't know if you guys caught this in alternative media and things throughout the week. And the other thing that I wanted to have a look into, hey Jake, is we had the Lucifer tomb that is said to be opened, and I think it was 5 portals and a ritual done right around Christmas. So I thought that could be an interesting thing to look into as a community as well. So you guys let me know if there's any updates or anything that you've also seen in alternative news or media. And I also want to bring up, because some of the orbs that have been described, or some of the plasma, did remind me of, let me just see. I'm just going to bring up my little window. There is a video that I want to show you guys on YouTube, one of my ones. And this is a UFO, but it did describe to me something similar when they're talking about some of the plasma orbs that are seen, and also books like this, or looking into the old Vedic Indian pictures and that. You'll see in some of the old Vedic paintings, which we've done shows on the Vedics and that as well. You'll see flying Brahmanas. You'll also see where there's like pearls in the sky. So what I wanted to share with you guys is one of my older UFO pearl-like videos, and let me see. There's also been like plasma-like jellyfish that have been seen in the sky this week as well. I think this might be the one. Let me just bring this up. Oh, here it is. So one of the ones that people were talking. Sorry, guys, I've got issues happening in the background. Just bring this up. Okay, this should work. Okay, so with this one, this was a UFO that I filmed back in 2016. But what you can see on the still, and I'll make this even larger if I can, is you can see that there's around where I'm scrolling. So you've got this plasma orb. Now, this did look the size of a small car in the sky, but what you could sense and feel, and that's why I wanted to do this topic tonight, is no matter what we're seeing, and remember this came up in the cards last week looking into the drones too, is I want you guys to tap into what you're feeling. And with a lot of the drones that we're seeing in New Jersey, it does really feel like a lot of government type stuff, or secret programs and things. And just even we talked about the remarks of the smirks on the face of some of the people officially reporting that were either government or said to be a representative to talk about that topic. They had sort of like a smirk saying, we don't know what it is. And there just seemed to be a real falsity with that. And some of the cards I think we got also describe that. But anyway, you can see there's like a little black sort of shadow figure standing inside the orb. With these ones, you do get a real positive feel. What's interesting, going back all these years ago, when looking into UFO activity and ET contact, it was only really the red orbs that would have, or like the red UFOs or UAPs, whatever you want to call them, that would have more of a negative feel or a negative kind of contact. And I did see with certain people that would have like a real kind of like anger generated, or addiction issues and things like that, the red orbs did tend to manifest around them a little bit more frequently. What I would do if I ever did, was at a contact event or things like that, and saw any of them, which I've only seen two. But yeah, what was interesting is the energy totally changes. So be aware, especially if you are in certain places where these things are happening, because some of these things will hijack or tap in. So you want to make sure that you're like unhooking, that you're not kind of like energy source, or that you're not operating on a similar vibration or frequency as well. So really important to be in charge of your sovereignty, doing any kind of like cleansing. And what I mean by this is there's certain people that have had abduction-like experiences that have been quite negative when they've either called on the name of Jesus, or they've called on other masters, or they've literally like claimed their sovereignty. A lot of the contact has literally just stopped in the name of, whether it's Jesus or other masters and things like that, or claiming that things don't have power over you. So I want everyone to be aware of this going into this uncharted territory. And, a lot of people are talking about that we will look back on this period of time as the before ET or UFO contact, or before disclosure. Dr. Stephen Greer is also talking about doing a mass disclosure release. So he has talked about that he will be releasing documents that will be on his website. And with this, he's instructing people that have social media, people that have YouTube channels, to share things. And the person that's given him the information to share is a little bit different in terms of you would have like your normal person who would do disclosure that may have worked for government or has had, higher clearance and security. They usually wait till end of life to disclose things. Now, with the situation that we're going into, the reason that this person has given the information to Dr. Stephen Greer is because he feels that it is of the interest to the people and that the people need to know. So even though he has a young family, they're feeling that it is safer to disclose it and really spread it out through multiple channels through the people rather than waiting for a government official to disclose it. So keep an eye on Dr. Stephen Greer's website. Share it out when you see stuff that is uploaded for, I guess, for multiple release. And I will keep you guys informed if I see anything too. But let me share this so you get an idea of what a positive plasma orb is like. And with the information with this, when you tune into them flying over, it feels like family. And there does to be a feeling of connection as well. So there might not be sound to this one. Let me just like you can just hear me flicking the little 4K camera trying to zoom in. It's incredibly hard to do. And pause it. Oh, let me pause it when it gets a little bit closer. So you can see an energy silhouette. I'm not just in your car, but it's right up.
Well, it's not luck and it's not gambling.
Anyway, so you guys get the idea of what they look like. So I think I saw some questions. Let me just see. Oh, that's cool. So Tim is saying, when I was near a large 4800V transformer that failed, I saw a plasma ball. I can understand how it is seen alive. It feels bizarre. Yeah, really interesting. And we've talked about as well, what is it? Plasma being the fourth state of matter. So we've done a few different shows on this. So what I'm actually feeling at the moment and what we can also look into, I'm just going to write down plasma as another question as well. And more info might be like what we ask for. But essentially, when we look into this space around us, there is plasma. So with the density and the energy changing and the consciousness shifting, and also we're seeing different timelines that are appearing, and we're seeing a lot more mandala effects. And yes, some of this is to do with playing around with CERN or other rituals and timeline shifting and things too. But what we're actually seeing with some of these things, so with the solar flares, we're seeing more of the auroras, so more of that gaseous type energy, and it's up higher in the atmosphere that we have some of these plasma beings actually reside. So not necessarily just the orbs that might be residing up there or getting charge up there. There's a higher electrical charge too. So things like even Abanis that I've filmed, which are like biological entities, and my friend in Italy, Antonio Ozzi, also films them as well. What we also see is those jellyfish. And I think I did send myself a picture of this. Let me just see. Let's see if I can bring this up. Yes, I did. Okay, let me open this up for you guys to see a little bit bigger. Okay, so this was some of the jellyfish. So it says, this is not a painting or Photoshop. This is a real and extremely rare atmospheric phenomenon that appears under rare conditions. It is known as sprites or red sprites. To me, these actually look like the plasma jellies. And some of these have also been seen, or other ones similar to this, around the ISS, so like the International Space Station as well. So if we're thinking about some of our veil dissolving, which we've been talking about for a year or two now, is it that we're just all of a sudden seeing things as the density gets a little bit more finer vibration, or if there's more kind of like charge to do with the solar energy as well? So there's a few things to reflect and think on. Let me just see if you guys have got some questions in here. So just popping them in all caps. And oh, here we go. So I can see Tim say, I did hear that they called the restricted airspace on those New Jersey bases on the November 21st. Question, was it planned? Is it just planned or operation? Yeah, because there is some information coming out at the moment that they're actually looking for something, that they're possibly looking for the NUKES, just to make it a little bit easier to talk in code. So let's have a look and see with this. Was this planned, or was this an element of surprise? And oh, I felt like I had one about to jump out. Oh, it flipped within the deck. How's that? So we have a Two of Swords situation. So this is almost like, if we're looking at it in terms of a sword fight, even though this is called the card of peace, but I'm sort of seeing this as two swords kind of meeting in the middle with this one. So let me see. And thank you, Jake. I just saw your question. Let me check back if there's any other questions. Okay, we'll get some cards to go with this. And I'm just getting told to flip these over. There's a bit of a story. There's quite a few cards with this one. So we've got a Two of Swords situation. What's interesting, I'm actually seeing with this as well that perhaps something was trying to start in terms of something a little bit more sinister. I do feel more kind of like an earth governmental type energy with this, and then I'm seeing something peaceful come in to like stop something in its tracks. We've all heard stories of plasma like ships and UFOs being seen over volcanoes in Mexico, and we've also seen them apparently they were spotted after Chernobyl as well, trying to like soften or reduce radiation. So I'm sort of seeing something come in to counteract. What's interesting is they're coming through from a higher density. The other thing that I'm seeing too is because this is more playing around with things that go against code, and it's like they've entered into like a restricted category. I feel like that they're able to step in. So it's like the earth side of things has let me hold the cards up. That might describe them a little bit better. So what I'm seeing with the Princess of Disc here and the card of peace, it's like they've come in to flip things. We're seeing a flip and a change in agreements. We're seeing a flip and a change in timelines. It's almost like you did the wrong thing, so now we're coming in to take control of the situation is what I'm seeing. But I'm not seeing so much the metallic type drones being in like the ET state. I'm seeing it as the orbs. So the ones that are more kind of plasma or like have a good feeling, like the ones that we just showed before, where you can see the being actually flying around within it. These are more that are higher sentient beings with a higher form of consciousness as well. So what we're seeing at the moment is a little bit of a battle go on, and it's between two different vibrational densities. So we see here her in the green energy. This is sort of like a gossamer type silk outfit that she's wearing, and she's fighting something that's more kind of like mental or lower vibration compared to that heart energy as well. We also see here the moon card. So whatever we're being told is not the full truth. We have this moon energy, which there's more information hidden. So we can see things below the surface. What's interesting is with plasma energy in this card too. And we see this as this little symbol, Aleph, as well, representing the creator and the creator's creation and creator's energy. And we see the line between. So it's this line between sort of like higher realms and lower realms. We don't have that veil existing as much. It's like it's starting to disappear. We are going to be getting more higher vibrational frequency density stuff happen, but there's also going to be more governmental stuff happen as well. So Five of Swords, defeat, it's called defeat, but I'm also seeing this as interference as well. So it's going to be hard to know what's real, what's not real. This is where you guys will need like your discernment and your heart energy as well. Oh, happy solstice to you as well. I'm all like set and ready for solstice for with my friends today. So it's sort of like thrown me a little bit out of time, but maybe we're in perfect time. Anyway, let's get some little clarifiers around this. So it does look like there was a little bit of an element of surprise in terms of the plan to upset or to have things on a darker timeline. The positives have also come in to like rectify this situation. And I'm talking about more the plasma positive type ones. So yeah, we're definitely getting there's interference, and it's still at sort of like a minimal level. We're not seeing the height of everything just yet. There's still more that's like hidden in the wings. For those that have eyes to see, there's still more hidden. Wow. Okay. So I do feel there's sort of like an energy factor feeling into like a little bit of future timeline stuff as well. Oh, thank you guys. You're so sweet. So what I'm seeing, Five of Wands, Page of Coins, I do feel that there's going to be like a little bit more interference or like a little bit more ramping up, but then it's sort of blocked again. And then we sort of see something that might be like a bigger demonstration or more information that we're going to get over the following, I guess, I'm hearing 3. I'm just trying to distinguish between 3 days or 3 weeks. We've got a 4 of Swords. So this is usually my card for going within. I would say if we can go in and shift this timeline, just like we did with the hurricane energy, we might be able to get it more on a positive track and more work towards positive ET disclosure. So it's connecting. And this energy I was feeling coming into the show too, that if we can, as a collective, with our beautiful soul tribe, tune in and talk to like our positive ET family, and say, you know, we're here, we're working in support, you know, we're ready for positive ET disclosure and things like that. Because a lot of this is to be done quite gently for the mainstream and for the main population. So 7 of Cups, it's like they're just sort of like there waiting in the wings in case something was to come in. And there's quite a lot of them. So we've got a 9 of Coins. We haven't even seen many yet. It's almost like we've got a sprinkle is the word that's coming through, but we've got a 5 of Swords. So it is like this 2 of Swords energy where it's like blade hitting blade at the moment. So if something does ramp up from the negative, we're going to see more positive come in, is what I'm also seeing as well. They're trying to keep the timeline at bay from flipping into a negative, is what I'm hearing. And exactly, Tim. So yes, the gigantic group prayer and manifestation for peace and love. Let me know if there's any more that you guys want to look in around that situation. Let me see. Yeah, so the other one, and I can see Britt Marie and a few of you also talking about it. Oh, thank you, Christian. Just saw your question as well. This is the one that I wanted to look into. So the Pope is going to open 5 demonic portals for Christmas Eve, which will be our Christmas Day, the 25th, and 5/1 to 25. All right, let's look into that. This has been an intriguing thing that was just coming through this morning, Spirit asking me to look into this. So I will get back to the other questions. Okay, just shuffle these back in. And if you think of anything else that's coming up in the news that you would like me to look into, and by news, I also mean like our alternative media. All right. Okay. There's like a big kind of like preparedness and breath. It's almost like venturing into something really big and something uncharted. The energy actually feels really kind of filthy, disgusting looking into this. It literally feels like the gates of hell, essentially, is what I'm feeling and seeing with this. I'm actually just going to place like a little bubble of protection around myself. Walking in, I'm seeing all this like the only word I can describe is like a vicious kind of green energy. And for those that have done the aura course, you know, when we talk about the different tonal colors or like your pastels and more kind of like your murky colors, this is almost like a Disney maleficent evil witch kind of like fluorescent sort of green that feels like bile, feels like stomach bile being vomited up is the energy. There's a real kind of like demonic influence with this. The other thing that I also see is like grabby type hands coming out of this gate. So it's literally like unleashing and unlocking kind of the gates of hell is what I'm seeing in this situation. So I will ask if there's anything we can also do to counteract or to shut this down or for protection. I am seeing Archangel Michael come in with his sword as well. And I know there's a lot of positive, negative stories out there with angels. I always say check in with those that love you unconditionally. They're the ones that we work with. We don't work with any that are trickster type energies. You ask them 3 times, as I will always say. But what I am seeing with this sort of situation, it's like when we have positive energy come in to counteract, there's no loosh for this kind of negativity and, yeah, just vile disgustingness. What's interesting is also having worked shamanically with people that have had entities and things like that attached. Sometimes when you do a clearing around them, they will actually vomit up this exact green color that I'm seeing as well. So let's flip the cards. I didn't realize we had so many. Also, let me know, guys, what's like your take? What are you guys getting on this as well? Because we have such a beautiful intuitional community. So what we're seeing with this, the first one, definitely for us to go into it with a positive attitude. So Knight of Cups, knowing that we also are equally powerful. So there is a scare tactic. There is a feeding of loosh that they're trying to hook us into with this. And this is also partly why they're announcing it, because if we buy into the fear in this situation, it's almost like that we're agreeing to that happening or that we're feeding into that portal, and they need that energy for that to be open. It's almost like if we're to turn our backs on it and there's a little evil character trying to scare us, if we're not looking or we're like, it doesn't exist. The vision that they're showing me is for those of you that maybe grew up in the 80s or 90s and saw Drop Dead Fred, the movie, and there was the invisible characters. It's like the more that she took the pill and she ignored them, they would shrink down and shrivel and die. That's what I'm sort of seeing to kind of like combat with this. And thank you, Gisela. Yes, they're not winning. No fear here. Perfect. So yeah, it really is. They're trying to ramp up the fear around this. So we have a Knight of Cups, the Four of Swords. We need to be in a heart space. It's our heart space that will help to combat this as well. And we've got Empress energy. So Queen of Queens, this is such a fertile, beautiful energy. She's very otherworldly in this card as well. So we need to be sitting in our sovereignty. We need to be sitting in connection with all of our power. This is also a beautiful time and interesting because it can be like a chaotic dynamic that happens, I guess, around this period of time and Christmas. And it's also, yeah, it's a Luciferian or satanic holiday as well, and ritual day. So we see 10 of Swords. So they may try and spike something leading up to this to throw off the general public and to put people into perhaps feeling this kind of 10 of Swords energy, which is ruin. Interesting thing with Ten of Swords is the heart cannot be touched. So they're trying to access the emotion. They're trying to loose off the mind. We've got Three of Wands. So this is the power of God on our side, the power of higher self, the power of our guides coming in. This is to hold down the fort spiritually. So it's a beautiful card. It's a card of virtue. For me, it's also a card around transformation into the spiritual realm. So think about caterpillar into the butterfly. We've got a Four of Coins, which is calling your power back. And this is actually us switching the paradigm and program. So Wheel of Fortune, Taurus, which is channeling Venus energy as well. So this is our remedy to this situation, is be in the heart. And yeah, definitely so true with that, Jake. That Ten of Swords reminds me of the Matrix and the needles in the spine. Yeah, so definitely the solution is be in this space of the heart. So collectively, if we can hold that, and I know this is my last show for the Galactic before this period of time, but if we can make a mental note or perhaps even set a little alarm or even connect to each other on the multiple platforms that we're on as well, that'd be really great just to check in with each other, or even like choose a meditation that's really activating or working with heart energy. I have so many free ones on Insight Timer and also on my meditation section in my YouTube channel as well. If you guys want to find one, there is the celestial timeline shifting one. That could be a good one to do on the day. Let's just see if there's anything that we also need to look into that perhaps could be like that element of surprise, because this is the thing that might trip us up, or I should say where they're going to try and trip us up. Let's see if we can see more around this so that we don't get such like an element of surprise. Thank you, Thug of Light. But yeah, if we feel into each other all together, holding space, this is very, very powerful and not to be underestimated as well. Thank you. Yeah, and if you're in the Aura course, meditation's in there as well. So yeah, what we're seeing, this is literally like trying to call up underworld type energy is what they're going to do. So you know how they talked about, I guess, the demon face syndrome, things of this sort of nature. This could be Project Bluebeam and things as well. So we've got Seven of Swords and the cards that they got me to look into, as above, so below. So this is trickster element type energy. We've got Prince of Wands come up with this situation too. So they may even try to appeal to the spiritual community like they're doing now. You know, for some of the people that have been watching the UFO stuff for years and years, you know, a lot of us are like, you know what, this is not real or authentic to what we've seen in the past. It has a totally different nature, totally different feel. The other thing I'm also seeing is a little bit of a project, I'm going to say Blue Bear rather than Blue Beam. So there could be something around this. With this the Prince of Wands energy, for me, sometimes with the Knight of Wands and Prince of Wands, I always get a message around things are not as it seems or things are not as we believe. So for some reason, I always get this kind of feel. So check it. Is it programming? Is it just like illumination or special lights and things? We have to actually be in attunement with higher self. So to me, this does look like a Project Blue Beam type things. And this is to try and keep us anchored in this matrix, in this simulated reality. We actually have a chance to push past and break free from the boundaries. This is actually why they're doing it, and part of like why they're quite scared is because we are now in numbers on where we're flipping the switch. I wonder if this is why my computer totally died right before we went to go. Oh, one's just jumped out. What is this one? So we have Ace of Swords. So definitely our thoughts, our mindset, where our hearts are going to be. So mind and heart, or heart-brain coherence. I would also recommend being in that space as well. Let us see what else we have. Six of Wands. It's to try and anchor and keep the timeline, and they're going to keep trying to do it in a hidden way. Yeah, it's our heart that's going to keep this from taking place, or from where we've had the wool pulled over our eyes, I should say. So yeah, do not feed energy into it has been the biggest message that I've seen over and over and over again. And as Tim's saying, the 144 have been activated, and it scares the 666 bunch. And that's what we're getting in the cards as well, is more that they're sort of like in a state of, oh my gosh, like we need to do this. And I do feel like something's been sped up in that way. There's an anxiety from the dark side as well around trying to push us through or to make things happen quicker. And even leading up to this, I feel like there's going to be perhaps like little mini rituals or like little mini things to try and I guess keep building that fear. It doesn't just feel like a wham bam kind of big thing happening. And let me see, I'm going to go into the questions that we had as well. Oh, great question. Thank you for that, Jake. And I wonder if you've done this in your hypnosis sessions as well. So, we're going to ask for a little bit more information around the ETs amongst us in disguise. And the thing is, a lot of us are the ETs amongst in disguise. So, a lot of us did have soul contracts and we had agreements coming into this earth realm to be hybrids in human form down here in the earth realm. And having read for thousands of people, there's particular patterns that I see in the starseed readings. And yeah, you can spot them. And it's interesting. They know from childhood that they're different as well. And usually there'll be an agreement um, to come in to have sort of like abduction kind of experiences, or where they're part of the human hybrid program where they have ET contact experiences, where DNA is exchanged, taken, where implantation of even like hybrid pregnancies, spontaneous pregnancies, pregnancies on birth control. This is something that I haven't spoken about too much in the public because it is, I guess, connected to some of my private life as well. And it's, how much do you want to reveal, or how much do you want to tell about like what it is that you've been through? Anyway, so let us just say that there are actual ET things that are still happening to some of the people that have human form down here that are more kind of like ET souls in nature and quite aware of it. Let's have a look. So, question: can we ask for more information around the ETs amongst us that are here in disguise? And I can see Gisela agreeing with us as well. All right, so what we see here is we do have the ET family here, very much like watching out and part of everything unfolding at the moment. So 10 of Cups for me is family energy. What we're also seeing is this is wanting to bring about a utopia energy. So they are here for the positive. They really see that humanity has been oppressed and they're wanting to bring us into the golden age. We also have the hermit energy. So they want to reveal the true knowledge of our DNA, of who we are on, I guess, the galactic neighborhood level. And what they're concerned with is this energy. So, yeah, we do have where they are actually among us and existing in some of our families. So I would say we probably have more here. So you would be like the rainbow sheep in the family. Let me also get some little clarifiers around this. And spot on, Deanna. So these energies are not allowed to evolve. They are so very angry that the opening with release them to move forward, to be redeemed and evolved. So yeah, what we have here, they've had sadness. So the positive ETs that are among us, and there are negative ETs among us as well. I've seen them out in public with my own eyes. My partner has also witnessed them as well. And not all of them can hold form because you need to maintain a certain sort of frequency in order to have that from shifting. And this is why they're talking about, the demon face syndrome and things like that as well. So what we're seeing at the moment, there is a positive ET alliance. And some of you that have had the hypnosis or had readings and things with me will sort of understand a fuller extent about who you are and why you're here and your ET connections. And some of you have even come in from other universes, not even just our local universe. And when that resonates for you, it's usually that not only are you a much older soul, but usually you're much more kind of like, if we talk about a percentage, you would be a higher percentage ET. So we have a 9 of Swords. So we also see that like a lot of humanity is in this kind of state at the moment. They know that something is not right. We've got a 2 of Swords come in again too. So there is ET intervention coming in to help to break us out of the daydream or the illusion, or as we've said for the last couple of years, the dark dream spell. And I can see Amanda as well. Amanda said, you had told me I have 2 hybrid children and I have no children here. So yeah, sometimes what you'll have is when someone's like a real like ET hybrid, you have where they understand or they know that things are different, or they'll have the bigger question to their parents about where did I come from, and they're really representing more in a universal consciousness, higher spiritual question. They can sometimes have hybrids. What I've also found, if I was to do a poll from all of the people that I've read for that have hybrid connections or have I call it mantis energy, and it's not that you have that as in like you have a mantis part of you, but they're the ones that oversee some of the hybrid programs. What I find is people that don't have their own kids in the physical, but they have hybrids, are more likely to, for some strange reason, speech pathologist is a job that so many have. Gynecologist, midwife, teacher, we see them helping to guide these special crystal children, or they have a special connection, or kids will have like this engagement of looking at you like they know where you're from. So kids do really look at you quite different when you have this kind of energy. It's an interesting topic. Maybe we should do a show talking about this. But yeah, a Four of Cups situation. So we can no longer ignore what's happening outside of just the 3D. We are in this phase of where we are going to see more of them walking amongst us. So to be awake and aware, notice those that are also like you. You can see it in the eyes and you can feel it in the frequency and vibration. And also kids will sense this in you as well. Let me know in the chat below if you often get babies, children, and animals just staring at you or wanting to engage with your energy. This a lot of the time is because of like hybrid energy or higher frequencies as well. So Ace of Cups, a lot of them have come in. Do not be like self-serving. There's an energy of coming in for a higher purpose or a higher reason, and it's an alignment. We've got a Four of Wands. This is a spiritual contract. This is also like an alignment with a higher timeline that they're wanting for humanity. It's like helping a little brother or sister is the energy that comes in with this. I can see, Deanna, that makes sense, especially with what you said before as well. So yeah, let me know. Oh, and Carol as well. Same. Always like a magnet for babies and children. And sometimes it's even just people to come in and tell you their life story. Sometimes you'll have that kind of thing. So let me get to another question. And okay, let's have a look into this. So this could be like a little bit more controversial, and you can sometimes have where someone is wanting to bring disclosure, but perhaps there's also some self-serving energy tied in as well. So let's just tap in and see. And I'm not going to say the name out loud just because it's good to keep things from getting flagged. Okay. Quite a few cards. So there is some kind of agreement is what we're sort of seeing. There is a little bit like feeling like a lone ranger, and there is definitely around wanting to bring disclosure. It's almost like wanting to bring it, but not knowing how to do it exactly. It's almost like there's had to be a tactical way of doing this. I do feel that there is a sense of enjoying like the ownership or enjoying being the go-to person around this. But there's also a feeling I've never noticed there's a purple moon in one of these cards. I'll hold this up in a second. There is also a feeling around this of feeling chosen on a soul level to do this job. And I have heard rumors from certain people that have, I guess, communicated and things like that. What we're also seeing is it does feel like there is an element of perhaps like sacrifice or something as well. We'll get some clarifiers. Let me hold these up because there's a lot of cards. So we have Three of Cups. So there is some kind of contract or agreement or working with other people. This is the card of abundance, and we see the Hermit. So the Hermit for me is sort of sometimes like feeling a little bit more reluctant or feeling like you're meant to be on one timeline or sort of, living your life. And then it's like a call to duty or feeling called to higher things. We then have a Prince of Swords. So it's sort of like slowly speaking up or like the voice being a lot quieter. It's definitely much louder compared to this is coming up as past, present, future. So we will pull some more cards around future as well. We also see here the moon card. So this is about like revealing or bringing to the conscious light, because the moon card, when we look into the Hebrew letter and things associated with it, it's sort of bringing something that's in the subconscious or in the hidden to the light. We then get an Eight of Swords, which is mentally, we are in a prison of our own making. So even though this stuff is happening around us, because our consciousness is not attuned to the energy of it, which is funny, we have the Chariot. So it's definitely wanting to move us out and away from this fixed and stuck mindset. This is also the lady that's bound with all the bandages and the blindfold, and she's surrounded by all of these swords. So he's wanting to break humanity free from this. What I probably would ask is the intentions around this, because we do also have an Empress in reverse. I feel like there's some kind of sacrifice energy with this, and it could also be like, having the family feel targeted as well. Let me just see the intention around this. We've got a Nine of Wands. This is to overcome and to have power. And we also have a Three of Disc. So with this Three of Disc energy, this is Capricorn and Mars. This is almost like battle, kind of like war energy with this as well. So there could be something else, like a reason behind like seeing something or feeling something and wanting to perhaps like win a certain way. I need to get some more around this from a different deck. But yeah, Nine of Wands is a card of strength. And I do see this as a card of empowerment. This is also a card of rising above duality or rising above games. So yeah, interesting when we look into the intention around this. This is also to have a new kind of established foundation. So whether it's to also have, and I just saw a spider just dropping, it literally just is coming down my laptop as we're talking about this. So yeah, this is to establish like a new core foundation galactically as well, is the intention. And we have the Chariot. So it's definitely around ET UFO. Sometimes the chariots will represent the UFO disclosure side of things. We also have the card of the Devil. So I know sometimes there's talked about where they're all good, there's only positive. I'm not seeing that in this situation. I've got the card of the Devil. So there's definitely more information that's perhaps being held back, or only perhaps like a partial disclosure of information. It's really not looking at like the full picture. And I have the Moon card hidden. So some things are being talked about and discussed, more the positive or what to tap into or open to. What's interesting is the Puja side of things, having a look at what god or goddess that they're praying to and things as well in part of the ET contact or the way that contact is done. Never give away your sovereignty, and really look into who or what you're also praying to. Yeah, we don't want to go into things blindly, is the information that I've got around this. And it's not to say that there's negative intentions, but I would say it's to look at it from the full perspective of things and having sovereignty on a physical level. You wouldn't let someone physically come in and just trust them. We've got to have our spidey senses. As the spider came in, it's just clicked. We have to use our spidey senses around this as well. And I can see Zala saying the power struggle between the fractions is huge at the moment, definitely. So let me look and see if there was another question. Okay, that was such a great question. Thank you for that. And okay, great question. Thank you, Christian. And I'll just pop some of these cards back so we can, they're guiding me to a different deck. So we will have a look into other plasma orbs, shielding, or pure energy beings. Interesting. I just started to get a feeling in my throat chakra with this, reading the question. I do get a feeling of communication wanting to happen, and that some people may actually become giving me the word mouthpieces as well. or like talking people. Sometimes they'll give you words that don't always compute into pure English. Let's have a look. Thanks, Tim. Okay, so are the plasma orbs shielding or pure energy beings? And yes, interesting with this. I feel that there's not the full information and disclosure. And I do feel that there's perhaps deals and things as well that have happened in the background. So we're not seeing the full story or the full truth. Some people sometimes can also be in it for gains or, that power energy too. There are some positive intentions, but I do feel like there was a race also energy wise when we were looking into that last question. There is a race to be the one to do it, is a bit of the energy that I felt. So flipping the cards for Christian's question, let me just pop that back up. So are the plasma orbs shielding or pure energy beings? So we have some cards in reverse. So we have a 5 of cups in reverse. So they're wanting to get rid of anything that could keep humanity stuck. We also sort of see, and I'm just getting like electric shocks in my hands talking about this as well. So we do see sort of like more of a pure energy type state. What's interesting around this, I do feel like there's a few different types of the plasma beings that or plasma orbs that we're talking about. So I'm getting like a few different energies come into the mix. So I keep getting like 3 different types come in. One feels almost like a replica type energy of something that's been artificially manufactured or created that this tried to inject consciousness into. So just like we have incubuses or we have homunculi, things that are more of a satanic nature summoned or created, and energy is put into them. So for example, and I heard this story recently with Elf on the Shelf. You guys know the little elf that's hidden around Christmas. Sometimes there will be a myth or a fairy tale, and when everyone believes in it, it breathes life into something. I'm sort of seeing one particular orb that's sort of got a satanic type fraction behind it, or it's like artificially or some kind of creation energy gone into it. Then I'm seeing more like a positive, natural, organic fraction that has a good consciousness in with it. This is really where we got to go into heart with every single thing that we see and use discernment. So I've got a 5 of cups. And this is more where I'm feeling a positive energy try and come into defeat. So 5 of cups in reverse, letting go of fear. Something's trying to get rid of the fear, trying to cut through anything that could be like glamour spells. With the magician, sometimes this is also someone who uses sleight of hands, Houdini kind of magic to fool or to, yes, interesting, hey, with the elf on the shelf. We don't have one either. So with this magician energy, I'm seeing that come out in reverse in 8 of cups in reverse. So there was sort of like an enchantment type energy or a spell that is being broken with some of these. A lot of it's to do with things coming through a portal. And then we have a 10 of wands, oppression energy. So it's the same sort of story we were getting before. There's a fight between good and evil, and it's a fight for our consciousness, and it's a fight for where we place our vote in terms of fear and love. So we have the Lover's card in reverse as well. So there was originally some kind of contract or agreement. All bets are off. All games are off, is what I'm hearing with this situation. Let me just see what else we got. Yeah, Princess of Swords. We're now in a battle. And look at this. It's a battle to feed the fear. So this Princess of Wands, she really is more getting distracted and more to do with like feeding fear. When she graduates into the Queen of Wands, she's fearless. So that's what we're going to be on now in this path. So hopefully that helps answer some of the orb plasma type energy. There's the good and the bad. Generally for me, the red ones are not as positive, the ones that I've seen or the ones that I've felt. Usually you want to disconnect. If you've seen them, they've seen you, is the kind of feel that you get. Or if your energy is sort of, I guess, within a certain bandwidth. What's interesting too is the radiation levels have also gone up in some of these places where we're seeing them as well. And perfect. Yeah. High love energy versus low fear energy. Yep. Definitely. So let me put these back, and I'm just going to read some of your other questions. Okay, great question. So, what advice does Spirit have in regards to dealing with our relatives that will have a hard time dealing with this new reality regarding extraterrestrials? I've not looked into this question. Thank you, Christian. All right, so let's have a look. This is a good one to ask before Christmas Day, isn't it? And before any portals are opened. Okay, I'm going to read this quickly because I really want to get through some more questions. So we've got the lovers. So this is about holding love. We've got the justice card as well. And the justice card, remember, is called adjustment in the other deck. So hold them in love while they're adjusting, and Ace of Cups. So it is something new that they're going to have to get used to. We have the Daughter of Cups. This is really, I could just talk this whole show about love and the importance of love. The other thing that we also see is a Daughter of Cups. So this is you being one of the people that's helping to connect and bring this through. With the Daughter of Cups, she quite often can see all of the crystals in a finer vibration, and it's her job to channel this wisdom and birth it into the earth energy, or into our earth realm. So a lot of you are going to be doing this. You're holding space while people are getting adjusted to the new frequency. So talk to them about the importance of love in regards to this, not buying into the narrative and fear. We also see a Six of Cups in reverse. So many of them have lost touch with the imagination, with magic, and with other things that are part of this realm. Look how much deeper the roots go to this tree below the surface. So maybe perhaps they've been aware just of this tree, and now you're going to be helping them become aware of the roots. Now, this did come out into in the reverse placement. Six of Cups generally for me is about the awareness of our multidimensional versions of self too. So, maybe even hold that space for them coming through this particular time, feeling held in love, and then being able to maintain this frequency. Because we saw when a lot of the mass agenda stuff went down, the end of 2020 and the start of, or was the end of 2019 coming into 2020, we saw a lot of people go into fear. So as we were saying before, super important. And yes, holding space. And yeah, so just to be there. It's going to get bad, but nothing that you cannot plow through with love. Beautiful. Thank you, Frost. Okay. And yeah, rainbow multi-dimensional roots. Aw, I love you guys. Thank you. So sweet. And the next question that we had was, is it possible that they used to be there? What is it? That they used to be there, but only remnants now, the Vatican. I'm not sure if I understand that one. There's definitely a portal there. There's when you look into like ley lines and you look into dragon lines and things like that, there's quite a powerful vortex, like a Stargate type energy that's said to be there as well. So this would also be why they're choosing to open up certain energies on this particular place. Let me go to next question. And Jake is saying, would love some current information from Spirit around the moon. Which timeline are we currently on? Do you know what? The first words that I heard then were on the deciding timeline. So this is now where we consciously get to choose, and we consciously get to push and shift the energies of our own free will. So that message is coming through really loud and clear. Let's pick some cards though and see what we get around this. Oh my gosh, we have the Lover's card again. I love this. So what we see is the Six of Wands. It's a timeline card. This is Leo energy. This is also a card of celebration. It's a card of moving forward. It's a card of like aligning to a higher frequency that we want to be on. So we then have a Seven of Wands. So it's choosing to put one more foot forward. And then, oh my gosh, how bizarre is this, guys? Okay, so we've gone from a 6 to a 7 to an 8. So a lot of us are working together in love because we have the Lover's card again. We know what timeline we're shifting and working to. So they're going to turn the dial and turn the knob quite a few times and shake it up and try and flick us in and out of vibration. Where we see the Schumann frequency hit and everything goes white, we can also cause this to take place and to happen. So let's get some words of advice for helping to bring this thing done. We have the Two of Swords again. So it's also to work with the positive ETs that we can't see and feel as much at the moment. They're here waiting for us to connect and work, and so are the animals. Yeah, Princess of Disc, create this first on the quantum, on the 5D, Ace of Wands, this is cool, and then the Empress. So this is also about us not only working with our star brothers and sisters to switch things into the other timeline. The word projector is also coming up with the moon energy too. And we see the Empress and the different moon cycles here. So let's just ask for a card around the moon, and we get Princess of Cups. So it is also used to kind of bring through certain programs, certain frequencies, certain vibrations, but we can actually override this. It can be combated. All right. And I think we're getting pretty close. Oh, we're on an hour. Okay. I love that, Gisela. So we are steady and holding. They're not going to flip us onto or off the best timeline. Exactly. And yeah, Jake's saying it as well. So feeling positive at the moment, holding the higher timeline and working with the light for sure. Definitely. Okay. Oh my gosh. I wish we had some more time. We can go a little bit over. Let me see. But yeah, I just keep getting the word projector around the moon at the moment. Okay, so Emma is also saying, have portals between Earth and Saturn's rings being cleared already? Let's tune in to that great question. I'm just hearing 3, so I'm going to flip these over. Yeah, it looks like it. So we've got a Queen of Wands, 8 of Wands, and then a 10 of Cups. So I'm getting a yes with that one. I just ask if there's anything else we need to do. It's just to keep this at bay. So just to keep it high vibe, keep it in the love energy, keep speaking positive words too, because a yin, all about like that guttural sound that comes from the throat chakra, thyroid energy. Yeah, keep speaking good things into existence, into reality. And will disclosure affect religious institutions? All right, let's look into this. Oh, they want this deck. I just saw my meditation card and I heard the words shift back to earth. And I'm hearing the word prophecy. It's like more shifting. I keep seeing like more of a Native American prophecy type energy with this and shifting back to the earth, and the earth being our mother. It's like Father, Son, and Mother Earth is that energy that I'm getting around this. All right. So it's like what we can touch, what we can see, and what we can feel. So 9 of Cups, hope, Princess of Cups, Knight of Cups, Ace of Wands, 3 of Wands, which is definitely a connection to God and being able to see, hear, and feel more messages. I've got where we're going to have that veil being more thin. So if anything, it's going to be like more of a personal kind of religious connection. And I see an energy for the earth. I'll hold these up in the order that they came out. Just going through these quickly so we can get them. But yeah, 6 of Swords is my card for where we're sensing and seeing things beyond that realm. And 8 of Disc. And this has that native energy with the earth. And then we see sort of Father Sky energy come in and Mother Earth. So we're definitely going to be shifting back to more what we can sort of like touch and feel and see in more of like, yeah, it feels like a native kind of perspective, or understand the value of nature and earth and sentient beings as well. So it's almost like God in all things rather than having to worship through an institution is what I'm seeing with that situation. Yeah, definitely stand firm. We've got this. And I can see Emma said, I heard that in my dreams. I think you might be talking about love because I can see a few of you talking about love. And I can see Tim said, love the look of intensity in your eyes when you're, thank you, when you're flowing. I guess I'm not conscious of what my face is doing. It'd be pretty funny. Okay. Oh, awesome, Jake. So Jake getting the same thing. Okay. Oh, you're so welcome, guys. And let me see. Okay. So Anna is saying, question, Farsight Institute says that they are working with positive ETs who are showing themselves now. Is this true? So Farsight says they're working with positive ETs who are showing themselves now. Is this true? So my 6 of Wands before. Let's see what popped out. Okay, we'll flip these over. Queen of Wands, the Hanged Man, Ace of Discs, Queen of Swords, and the Aeon. Yeah, so it does look like a positive one. So we've got a Queen of Swords communicating into the matrix. So we do have higher frequency energies that are trying to communicate, to anchor and lock things down into the earth. And what I mean by this is like bring through information and knowledge. We see that with Queen of Swords. So there is some direct communication that they're in with higher ascended ET beings to help facilitate and shift things on a dimensional earth realm level. So this is a card of transformation. It's a card of breaking down the old and shifting it into a new frequency, a higher space as well. So it does look like that we're going to be shifting into a newer timeline with help and assistance from the positive ETs. So that is a really good one. Thank you for that question, Deanna. And we had... Okay, so Susie said, if we live in a simulation, who programmed the simulation? That is a good question. I don't think we've asked that before. So the cards that we've got, oh my gosh, love this. Okay. So we have a 6 of Swords. We have the 2 of Swords, 8 of Cups, and the High Priestess. This is an interesting answer. It's like an aspect of self. So I'm sort of seeing like a separation, a divide. I'm seeing things go into multiple frequencies. It's like starting at that point of one and things dividing. And then we're seeing things separate to the point of forgetting their core or forgetting they're all part of the same whole. But what we're seeing in this particular timeline or this particular trajectory is 2 of Swords energy. So there's almost like a remembering or coming back together or remembering in that difference and in that duality. Because when we go from a 2 to a 3, it's usually going from where we're in opposition or we're in difference or sort of seeing I guess thinking everything is outside of us. We're sort of coming back to the heart and back to this place of oneness. What we're seeing at the moment in regards to that is part of the simulations breaking down. See the cracks? This is Saturn's energy at the top. So we're seeing control, we're seeing things fracture, we're seeing no longer are they having the flow with this. This is Cancerian energy too. So no longer are things sort of like going in flow or going in control. We've got where we're remembering that we're actually the creators. We're actually the people that get to morph and shift things on a quantum level. We're just trying to work out how to get it started. I'm seeing what looks to be like a car that's not turning over. We've got the equipment, but it's just working out how to get it going again. So I'll just get, let me see, just 3 cards. We've got a Page of Swords in reverse, the 2 of Swords again, and the Knight of Cups. So it's like we've forgotten the magic words to utter. We've forgotten how to use our voice and speak and create in power. So 2 of Swords, how many times have we had this come out? And Susie is also saying you had the 2 of Swords come out today as well. And definitely we are the creators. And I think we tend to look for something that's a bit more sci-fi, that's like a 3-part saga kind of series. And really it keeps coming back to we are the creators of our own reality. We have the power to shift things. We need to stay in love and not fear. And we have the Knight of Cups with this too. So the practice around this is just to keep practicing coming into the heart. Notice when things are not of the heart. Notice when things are of fear. So anyway, I got to as many questions as I could today. I can't wait to see you guys. I'm going to still have the 3 card picks up, which will be coming out over the next few weeks. And I think we're back around the 24th of January for the Galactic show. This is going to be interesting times. Up until then, I may still do a few other things around my channel and things too, if we do have something happen or hit in the news. So we shall see when it happens. But I just wish you guys all the best. And I also want to just pop up. Let me put a few little reminders up just before I have to go. So we do have also 20% off on the birth charts and also on the courses. So if you do want to learn more about how to see auras, which I highly encourage, because not only that, you're increasing your sensitivity to a lot of the stuff that is going on, which is part of why I had to get this course out this year. With the shift, it really does help you to understand and perceive and see things that are actually appearing and floating or swimming around here in our reality at the same time. So I highly encourage you guys to join the Learn How to See Auras course. It is half price. It is normally $333. So get it while it's half price. It's an amazing Christmas present for people too. And 20% off our readings. So using the discount code HOLIDAYS for all of this. And we so appreciate the love, the comments, and every part of our community here. I really do believe we have the best community on YouTube, and we are so blessed. Same with my work as well, the most beautiful soul tribe. So head on over to maidesonjupiter.com. And let me just bring this up and see if there's anything else. Yeah, happy holidays to all of you. I'm going to be doing solstice with my friends tonight and having an amazing meditation. So feel free to join in on the energy if you also want to join in and meditate. All right. Love you guys. Take care. Have a beautiful Christmas and holidays.